Hello everyone and welcome to level 4. The increase in difficulty we saw last time now stays throughout the rest of the game, and our strategy of throwing enemies instead of attacking them from above or below also stays. Granted, we come at them from above or below to throw them, but throwing is what we're going to be doing most of the time. It's just a lot more convenient. These green putties, by the way, have the same jab as the weaker putties, but their jab actually thrusts them forward, which makes them a lot more dangerous when we're unpowered. When we are in our powered form, our range is high enough that we can attack them with ease still, but as normal old Jason, it's kind of difficult to take them on. I feel this may go without saying, but considering how much the putties bob in and out, it's also beneficial to keep on one side of the group. Otherwise you'll get surrounded very easily, and there's no way to get out of a situation when you're surrounded. That hazard always hits me. The jump has a small startup, so I'm never able to jump over the blasts in time. You may have noticed that sometimes cars will just decide to drive right through the middle of the street. Thankfully there are lines in the middle of the street, so we know exactly where not to stand. In addition to that, the boss of this level, Mir, will occasionally bounce around the screen like that. Thankfully he's much easier to dodge than the cars. But if you're really not confident in your ability to get out of the way in time, just stay toward the bottom of the screen, because he never bounces all the way at the bottom of the screen. You do have less room to move down here, but you can always knock enemies over with your jump kick if they're giving you that much trouble. I want to be perfectly clear, if you try to button mash your way through this level or the previous one, you will die a lot, and after you lose all your lives, it's game over. You don't get continues. Our health was in pretty bad shape, but after we morph we get it all back, and, you know, the second half of the stage is going to be a lot easier. I had plenty of time to dodge that shot, so it's my fault it didn't work out. Hitting multiple enemies like that is always satisfying. If you remember a couple of screens ago when there were cars running right through the middle, and sometimes Mir decided to bounce across, well, this is exactly like that. It's pretty much exactly the same screen. The only real difference is that, well, now we're in our powered form, which makes it easier. After we get rid of the last green putty, some new enemies spawn. These guys throw bombs, and they stay in one place for the most part. This means that whatever lane they're standing on is virtually useless to you, because they will just spam those bombs. So if you want to use a lane they happen to be occupying, tough shit, you have to kill them first. And now Mir bounces across the screen 2 more times, but with our dodge button it's very easy to get out of the way. The game is content with having introduced new enemies, and now it's time to fight Mir, who is one of the toughest bosses in the game. Mir's main methods of attack are to punch us, shoot laser beams at us, and turn into a ball and roll around on whatever plane he's currently on. Since there are 2 of him, this means that his attacks are twice as dangerous and twice as hard to dodge. I do have some good news about this fight though, and it's that the 1-2 dodge that you've seen me use before works perfectly fine here, unlike with Green Ranger. So even though that's perfectly fine, I do spend a bit more time just dodging around because I don't want to lose a life. This is around where the bosses start to really hurt. There's a small problem with the boss AI in this game in that it cannot move fast enough to keep up with you while you dodge. This is going to come into play a lot more later. It's time for the Megazord battle against Mir, and although Mir can be kind of stun-locked the same way as Nimrod, he's a lot less easy to keep that way. Fortunately for us, he is very vulnerable when he uses his Kamehameha. You can get a full combo in on him from behind when he does that, so we're going to be doing that a lot. His attacks give you plenty of time to dodge, especially if you had no trouble dodging attacks from other earlier bosses. His most surprising and dangerous attack is when he turns into a ball, but that is handled with simply by moving the hell out of the way. If you time it just right, you can punch him right as he transforms, which I do once here by pure luck. Yeah, there it is. Unlike other Megazord battles, this time we fight someone new. Someone we didn't see in this stage. We fight Mutitus. This is the Mutitus sprite from the Super Nintendo Power Rangers game, but he has some new abilities up his sleeve, including that dashing charge that Silverhorns used. He also has quite the range on him, with a pretty fast projectile attack and some extending claws to boot. He's one of the harder bosses to stun lock, just like Silverhorns, because of that charge of his. Kinda hard to keep up with him. Not impossible, but a little difficult. Also, that charge can hit you from behind, which I have some issues with, as you can see by the fact that I got hit with it twice. I'm not sure I agree with the hit detection on that.